All right, good morning. It's the Monday Morning Show. Today on the show, we have a very special guest. He's performing at Showcase Live on March 18th at Patriot Place in Foxborough, Mass. Ladies and gentlemen, comedian Bobby Collins.
Hey, Sean. How are you, buddy?
Good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, we're sharing the planet with a lot of different types of people now. We got to start thinning out the herd.
Yeah.
You know, the gene pool could use some chlorine. Look what's happening in our country, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
my God. People are running for president. I wouldn't even shake these people's hands. If you did, if you touched them, you'd want to clean yourself with a chicken. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Marco Rubio, he looks 14. Get out of here. Go put your pajamas on and go to bed. No, I want to be president. I want to be the president. Get out of here. Look at these people.
Yeah, what do you think? You a big Donald Trump fan?
No, I'm from New York. People in New York, that's like dead clown walking. Donald Trump, his hair is the color of Tang. You know, Donald Trump, this guy he's a reality television guy. That means he's fake. Television is fake. I go, the fact that people will this guy couldn't care less. You know, immigration, build a wall, Muslims, kick them out of the country, women, let them bleed. Jesus, I got a problem with it. Are you kidding me? This guy is the con guy on the street with the 3-card Monte thing. All right, which ball? Where's the ball under? Which cup? Which cup? This guy is his money, his goal, and his God is money. He couldn't care about anybody else. The fact that he can pull people in, the way people must be really upset. Hey, we're going to make America great again. America is great. We need to make it a little bit better, but not with this guy. This guy is such a con man, and people are going for it, which is really sad.
Yeah, and I can't believe it either.
Well, the other guy, what's his name? Grandpa from the Munsters. What's his name? Cruz.
Oh, Ted Cruz?
This guy looks like a rodent.
Yeah.
And the guy from Jersey who's now endorsing, and because he wants to run with him, the Penguin.
Yeah,
Chris Christie.
Christie, yeah.
Frightening.
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of easy to come up with material with this election.
That's why you got to like Bernie, but he'll be dead by Sunday.
Yeah. So
it's nuts.
I always like to ask people when I have comedians on the show, when did you decide to be a comedian? Did you always want to be a comedian when you were young?
Yeah, when I was a kid, we grew up poor in New York City. And the only thing I used to see my mom and dad, who worked long hours, mom's a waitress, dad worked for an insurance company. The only thing I'd see him laugh was when a comedian either came on the Ed Sullivan Show or the Red Skelton Show on Tuesday nights at 8:30. And I'd turn around, little kid watching him, and I said, look at that. That's the only thing that make them laugh. I can do this. I can make people feel good, you know?
Yeah.
But you also have to have a job. Make them feel good and laugh hard, but also educate them, because people, look what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
The people voting for Trump, 99% of them think wrestling is real.
Yeah.
You and I both know that's the second picture on the evolution chart.
Yeah. So, New York, is that where you started out in comedy?
Yeah, I started out in New York City. And then I was lucky because I traveled and I hosted a show called VH1 Stand-Up Spotlight. Rosie O'Donnell gave it to me. Then I did the Tonight Show a bunch of times. Then I was toured with Cher, Julio Iglesias, Sinatra, and Dolly Parton. So I started to get known that way, and it's paid off. I've had a ball, and
Yeah.
I love it. I thank God every day for what I do.
Yeah, so what was it like working with some of those people, like Frank Sinatra?
You take the best and leave the rest.
Yeah.
But Frank Sinatra, one time, you get a kick out of this. We were working together in Salt Lake City, and all these people would answer the phones for him. You know, when we're backstage in the dressing room, the phone would ring. Somebody, Tony the Foot, Vito the Arm. They were all named after parts of the body. And then one time he picked it up, and I heard because I was sitting right next to him. Somebody said, "All right, can you send the substar, the comedian, out for a sound check?" He said into the phone, he goes, "A comedian, just put the power on," and he hung up. And he looked over at me, and I went, "That's fine. That's cool with me. I got no problem."
Yeah.
You know, what do I care?
Yeah.
But you take the best and learn the rest. You leave the rest. Cher was wonderful. She was classy. Julio Iglesias, he was a pisser. Sinatra, you learned had professionalism, and you work with them all, and you take the best and leave the rest.
So how did you develop your style of comedy?
Well, I was never a joke teller. I was more like a storyteller. I told what happens in life.
Yep.
You know, like just recently I was on a plane and a kid, young guy, maybe 30 years old, sitting next to me. He had like these wheels in his ears. He had like these round stagecoach wheels in his ears. And he looked at me and he went, "What?" I said, you got wheels in your ears. And he goes, "You like them?" I go, "Sir, you got wheels in your ears." And he had a sports jacket on, and I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going on a job interview." I said, "Watch my lips. You're not going to get the job." And he said to me, "Why not?" "You got wheels in your ears." He goes, "Should I take them out?" "No, then it looks like you're melting." How do you tell people this? Does this kid not get the, didn't he get the memo? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just tell that story on the stage, people will crack up.
Yeah. So most of your material is based on your life.
Real life things and exaggerating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of similar to my next question is, do you have any advice for new comics?
Keep writing.
Keep writing?
The cream rises to the top. A lot of the other people, they just, they sink. The cream rises to the top. The crap floats for a while, then it sinks. The key in comedy is to keep writing and be relevant and see what's going on and talk about it. Otherwise, there's still comics out there doing the same bit that they've been doing for years, and then they're wondering why they're working in little comedy clubs, and this guy's working in big theaters and traveling around the country. See what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You got to be relevant, and you got to care and see where you want to go. You fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yep. Okay. Before I let you go, we have a part of the show called Questions from the Fans.
Sure.
And if you don't mind, I'd like to read you 2 emails that we have.
Sure.
First email is from Blake Chapman. Blake wants to know, who was the best person you have ever worked with, and who was the worst?
Probably the best person I ever worked with was Cher. She was just, I liked the way she handled herself. I liked that she really cared. She held people's hands before, her dancers and her backup singers, and even me, the comedian, before we went on, because she'd look at it, she goes, "These people paid hard money, their hard-earned money to come see us. Let's give them a really good show." And she'd say a prayer, and we'd all go out there. That made me feel good about what I was doing. I like people like that. And she'd put these people with wheelchairs and special needs people up front because they deserved it, because they couldn't help. They needed a little extra help.
Yeah.
I have a special needs daughter, so I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And the worst person, I don't know, you work with some of these younger comics that open for me now if I go place, and all they talk about is, again, parts of their body, getting laid, doing this, having that, this, that, smoking pot, that.
Yeah.
Come on, that's old crap. That's old news. Let's talk about things. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about things that really we care about. Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about elections. Let's talk about what we care about and what affects us.
Yeah, a little more creative.
Yeah, well, it's the same window we all look through. It's just at a different angle.
Yep. Okay, last email is from Kim Mathers. Did you get into trouble when you were younger? If so, what was the funniest thing you did?
I got in a lot of trouble, Kim. I did. I was the youngest, and when I got in trouble, I had to pay for it because my oldest sister, which my only sister, who we don't get along with very well, I had to, she made me go always buy those Kotex, those women's products.
Yeah.
And I was 7 years old. Look, these young girls don't know what Kotex is because they got them shooters now, But it was the hardest thing. And, you're carrying the box was bigger than me. I'm 7.
Yeah.
I'd put it on the counter, and the guy would, "Can we get a price check?" "No, don't." Things like that. And, it was hard on me. I got in trouble a lot, and I had to pay for it. But now I use all those stories about what had happened to me, and it made me a better person.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I think that's all the questions I have. People can see Bobby Collins at Showcase Live on March 18th at Patriot Place in Foxborough, Mass. Great
place to see a show. Great place. And I've done it there before about 2 or 3 times. Great place. Have them come out. We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and people can get tickets at showcaselive.com. and they can go to your website too, right?
Yeah, BobbyCollins.com.
BobbyCollins.com. Okay, well, thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Sean, thanks a lot. You're a class guy.
Hopefully we can talk to you again sometime.
Okay, buddy.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.